Megan from Random Acts of Crafting, and welcome back in my craft room. I have a fun project today, and I don't want y'all to feel intimidated by this project, because if you follow along very, very closely, you will not have any problems making this this book. I'm going to actually show you how to do a binding system, and a lot of us participated in the recipe swap that recently went on with gift basket appeal at Mindless Crafting. So if any of you that are following me, which I know a lot of my people are also Tracy's people, because she has helped me along with my channel. So if you are watching my channel and you have not gone over and checked out Tracy, go over to Gift Basket Appeal on YouTube and check out her channel. Her and her husband do some really great things. They've got a nice little store you can shop at, and they carry some wonderful stamp sets and her own design, and it's just a good family feeling. But anyway, we did this recipe swap, and I got to thinking, I know it's dangerous, but every now and then I do think, but I thought, how nice would it be to do a cookbook with our swap recipes. So as all of you know, this right here, this Homemade with Love, is a beautiful pack of recipe vintage paper. And this is some of the papers that's in this packet. I mean, they are oops, wait a minute, I flipped two at the same time. They are just stunning papers, and I love this pack so much. Let me get my papers going in the right direction so I don't get them out of order. These are recipe cards that you can cut out, or you can use this beautiful polka dot on the back. It's just beautiful vintage paper. Who remembers milk brought in milk bottles? But these could also be oil or vinegar or whatever. This page here I love. It has actual recipes on it, and they are kind of covered up, but how vintage is this paper? Look at this lady. She is busy in her kitchen with her apron on, something that very few of us wear anymore. Look at this, the picture, the pie cooling in front of the window. Here shows a little girl sitting what looks like was an old-fashioned oven. I just love this paper. I think it's gorgeous. Look at these strips for borders. Oh, I don't think I showed you this side. There's that side. Looks like a table. The old-fashioned kitchen tables. That beautiful teal. And then all these papers just coordinate so well. Look at those whisks. It is just stinking cute. This is our measurement table. And, I mean, we could cut a strip of this off and put it in our book, and we've got our measurements, which I think we will do that, or even glue it on the back of our book. The mixers are so cute. Look at that pattern. Does that not look like Grandma's wallpaper? I'm telling you, I love it. The pies, oh, so cute. And look at that, a picnic tablecloth. That's exactly what that reminds me of. And these are so cute. Look at that, recipe notes, favorite food, best find. These could be cut out into cut-aparts, or you could use a strip of them. However, we're going to find all kinds of ways to use this pack of paper. And then, of course, this is Cartabella paper, which is a very heavy-duty paper, and it is gorgeous. And look at these stickers. Look at that stand mixer. I have a KitchenAid, but mine's not red with polka dots. Mine is just a standard white one, but I love it. I use it all the time. Love to cook. Look at the lemonade picture. Flour, sugar, and salt. The little canisters are so cute. I am just so thrilled. But when I was getting ready to do my album, I got to thinking, I want to save this paper for embellishing and front covers and things like that. So I went into my stash and I pulled out my Dots and Stripes, my winter collection. And it looks like this. Now, both of these paper packs are available in my store at randomactsofcrafting.com. I will have the link in below. And I picked out this one and this one. No, I'm sorry, this one and this one. I'll show you. This is one of the ones that I picked. And let's see, I had cut the other piece. Oh, let me find it. It might be under here, because I did cut some of my papers. Oh, what did I do with it? Maybe it got in with this. I don't know. But I know I had it. Oh, here it is. I'm sorry. This and this. And I did cut this piece out that I'm going to use on the front cover. This was part of the other, of the Homemade with Love. And this, of course, is our Dots and Stripes. So these two pieces out of my Dots and Stripes I'm using along with that. So I'm just going to lay that back down here. We're going to get the rest of this. This is the winter collection of Dot and Stripes. And like I said, this is available in my store along with the Homemade with Love. So if you are interested in picking up those packs of paper so that you can follow along with this video, that would be awesome. The first thing I want to do is I want to let you know that what our book is going to look like. And I do have some writing on here because I was making notes as I was going. Because all this is going to be covered up. Nobody's going to see this. So if you need to make notes, this is the perfect place to make them. This is going to be the spine to our cookbook. And I cut these out of chipboard, and I can tell you the dimensions are 6.5 by 9, 6.5 by 9, and 4.25 by 9. So what I'm going to do, before we go any further, we're going to lay these pieces over to the side, and I'm going to show you the hardest part of putting this album together, and that is our binding strip. Now here's our binding strip, and you're probably thinking, oh no, I can't do that. Yes, you can. You can do this. It's not that hard because I did every bit of the binding strip on 1/2 and 1 inch intervals. And once you push this all together and you glue these 1 inch pieces together like that, you're going to have a nice flat piece that's going to fit right down on your spine. And your pages are going to fit in between on these. And it is going to be wonderful. So I can't wait to get this going. So I'm going to grab some more cardstock and we're going to do this together. So, because I don't want anyone to be lost. So what you're going to need is just, let me get my scoreboard, not my trimmer. We're going to need the scoreboard first. And we're going to need 2 pieces of lightweight white cardstock. Now you do not want to use copy paper. You do want a cardstock, but you want something light. You don't want to use British Monroe's alabaster or Not Your Mama's cardstock. You want, this is like the Nina, and I think this is like 65, I think this is 65 pound weight. So you're going to want something that's not real heavy, nothing over 110. I would not suggest anything over that, because if you do, you're going to run into issues with it not wanting to bend and fold and contour for you. So I do have some notes over here as to how to score this, because I had to work all these measurements out in my head and on paper before I could bring it to you. So what we're going to do is we are going to score this. We're going to start out at 1 inch. So just score it 1, and then we're going to do 1.5. There's that little 1/2 inch. That's going to be your in-between pieces of where your pages are going to live. So 1.5, then we're going to jump over to 2.5, and then 3.5, and then we're going to go to 4. There's another one of those little halves, and then we're going to go to 5, and 6, and 6.5. And then we're going to go 7.5, 8.5, then we're going to do 9 and 10. Oops. paper tried to slip on me right there. Okay, just lay that to the side and grab your other piece of paper, and we're going to repeat. Oops, sorry about that. We're going to repeat what we just did. So we're going to score at 1, 1.5, 2.5, 3.5, 4, 5, 6, 6.5, 7.5, 8.5, 9, and 10. Now, this is all of the scoring that you got to do. Now, we do need to do some folding, but again, this is not hard because all you want to do is come in and everywhere, you see right there, everywhere that you have the score line in between the 1 inch and the 1 inch, you're just going to want to fold those up. Just fold them up, make a nice little mountain fold with those. And then if you want to fold down on the 1/2 inch pieces, you can do that at this point. I'll tell you what, let's just do our 1 inch pieces first. We'll come back and do those others. I'm going to do that first one just so I can get that to stand up. And then the same thing here. There's your score line in between your two 1 inch pieces. Fold those up and just press them down. Just like that, and like that. Do the same thing here. You got another 1 inch or a score line between your 1 inch pieces, and just fold them up. And then you're going to do the same thing on this last one. Even though you don't have an edge over there, you're still going to fold this up. Just like that. Now I'm going to go back because what we're going to do now is we're going to fold down on those 1/2 inch pieces. See the 1/2 inch? You got a 1/2 inch there and a 1/2 inch there. So they're going to fold down. So what you're going to do is bring your 1 inch piece up and then push it down against it. And you can use your bone folder here to help you get a good crease line on this, because the better this is creased, the easier it's going to be for you to work it. So if you want to come back and work these pieces, down, that would be perfectly fine. See, this piece is going to be up, that piece down, this one up, that one down, this one up, and that one down, and then this one up. And there's your piece, just like that. Now, everywhere that you have that 1 inch piece, that's going to be a page, and a page. There's going to be a page here and a page here, and then you're going to have some other pages because this piece is going to attach to this piece. And I'll show you how that's going to work as soon as we get this one folded. So again, we're going to go in on everywhere there's a score line in between the 1 inch intervals. So there's a 1 inch. You can see the wider pieces. So everywhere you have a score line between the wider pieces, just fold it up. Just like that. Fold it up. Just like that. I'm trying to make this as easy for you as I possibly can. Fold it up and fold it up. Just like that. Now we're going to go back and we're going to fold those other pieces down. So grab your piece, your 1 inch piece, and crease it to the forward and then back. Do the same thing with the next one. You're going to push it down, forward and back, just like that. And again with this one, and you're going to do it forward and back. And then you're going to do this one, forward and back, just like that. Now, what we're going to do with this is we are going to actually interlock this piece with this piece. So all you're going to do is take one piece and sit it over top of the other one, and we are actually going to glue these together right here. So before we go any further, what I do want to do before I do move on is I do want to go back and make sure I've got really good crease lines on all of this, because that is crucial in getting this to come together when you're getting ready to glue this together, when you're getting ready to adhere it to the spine of your book. This will be crucial. So just keep working them, increasing them. You just want to make sure that every crease line is sharp. You do not want to have crease lines that are not very, very sharp. So that looks really good, and see what I mean? This is going to all be glued together, and that's going to give you a flat piece that's going to fit down into your book on the spine, and then these pieces are going to be where you're going to attach your pages to, and this will all make a lot more sense as we get to it. So I am going to turn that one that way. This one looks like it's pretty well scored. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put this one over top of there, but I'm going to put some liquid glue. So I'm going to grab my art glitter glue, and I am going to just really saturate that piece, and then I'm going to sit it right on top of that one, and I'm going to pinch it because I want these two pieces to adhere evenly, just like this is all one big piece of paper. And see, that's actually going to give us another place for the page. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and everywhere there is a deep valley, which were mountains when it was over the other way, but everywhere there's a deep valley, I am going to glue them together. So I'm going to actually press it out, and I'm just going to do some glue like this, and then I'm going to press that one together. And I'm going to grab it from underneath from the right side, and press it and press it. You might even want to come back with your bone folder and just do this to make sure it's nice and stuck, and that looks pretty good. And then we're going to come to the next one, which is this one here. And we're going to press it out like that, and I'm going to put glue, and I'm just doing it in a W shape all the way down. I got glue right there on my work surface. If y'all notice, I took my glass mat off for this project because I needed more space. We're going to have to spread this out quite a bit to get this like we want it, and when we get ready to cover it especially. So now just remember, these two pieces were 8.5 by 11 pieces of paper. We scored them on the 11-inch side. All of our score marks was done on the 11-inch side. So there, we've got these two are done. Now we need to turn it over and do this one. So turning it over, and you want to make sure that as you're doing this, that these pieces are looking nice and straight and even. So here we go. Doing my W's again. And I'm going to press that together, just like so. Just like that. Press this one down. Turn it over, and I'm going to hold it and press it. Hold it and press it. Hold it and press it. Okay, so now we need to do this one. This is where we put them together at. So let's see. That one. This one's going to go down. This one is going to come up like that. So even though we put that together, this is still another page right there. So we're going to put our glue in between here. Now this one's going to be a little bit fatter because you glued that other piece on the other side. Don't worry, it's fine. We're still making those mountain valleys, and we're gluing those together so we have a nice place right here. Just like that. And I'm going to come down on this end, and I am going to start gluing from this side, and we're going to work our way back in. So let's go right here. And smush that up in there. Like so, and then we're going to do the same thing with this one. We're going to glue it together, and right here. Once you learn how to do this, you can make so many beautiful albums and booklets of anything from junk journals to photo albums to, I mean, the possibilities will be endless as to what you can do by using this particular binding system. So I am trying to find out what did I do here that caused this piece to be off, but it is definitely off. Let's see if we can fix it. Let's stick it down. Okay, this piece does not need to be in here. So here. Okay, I definitely did a boo-boo right there, and I'm not sure what I did, but we're going to make it work. Let me glue this. I'm going to show you that if you do have a boo-boo, you can fix it. So just squish this down in here, like so. You know, a lot of times, and I say this over and over and over, so many times we look at YouTubers and we think, oh, they're experts. No, we're not. We're just like you. We make mistakes. We do boo-boos. This right here is not going to work because we need, and I'll tell you how I'm going to fix that. I'm going to cut this out at a 1/2 inch, and I'm going to glue this over top of that 1/2 inch. That will make it work. So I'm going to lay these pieces out like this. And if this happens to you, this is the way to fix it. Lay it out. If you need to measure, because we can't measure with all this bulk in here, I don't think. Let's see. Let's get it down in here. And that's 1 inch. So I'm going to bring this up to a 1/2 inch. Right there. And I'm going to put my blade down. I'm going to cut that in 2. And then I am going to glue this piece to this. Let me move that out of our way so I can show you. What I've done is I folded up under that 1/2 inch. In fact, you know what? I'm going to use my scissors and just cut that off. And then we'll just have that 1/2 to glue over top of the other one. And I could have cut this off with the trimmer while I was in there, but I used my scissors. It doesn't matter because this isn't going to show. So what I'm going to do now is I'm going to sit that down right on top of that other 1/2 inch, and I'm going to glue it down. I think I might put this to the underside like that. Yes. So let's put glue all along this piece. And this is actually going to fix the boo-boo. Watch this. Oops. And I'm going to get it lined up so it's nice and even and not crossing the score lines because we want it to be able to move. Just like that. And there we go. We got it. And this is going to be our binding system. So now, this piece right here needs to fit on our spine. So I cut our spine at 4.5, and 4.5 is perfect. That fits absolutely perfect on the back of that spine. And that's what we want this to do. We want it to live on the spine. But before we adhere that down, let me put my pen back in my glue, and I'm going to show you how to cover our front and our back. The first thing you want to do after you get your chipboard cut, and I already gave you the dimensions on your chipboard, 6.5 by 9, and you need 2 pieces that size, and then you need 1 piece that's 4.25 by 9, and you are going to lay it out just like this with about 1/8 of an inch between them. Now we're going to pick this back up because we got to lay our paper down. But how I got my measurements, so if you want to alter the size of your book, you can make it as small or as big as you want. But I chose this size because I thought this made a nice size recipe book. So what I'm doing, I measured across. I added myself about 1.5 inches on each side. I know that this is 9, so I need 1.5 inches, which would give me almost 12. So I just kept it 12 by, or 10 by 12. And I'll show you what I did. I actually did 10 by 12. I decided what color I wanted on what page. And I want this piece right here to be my front cover. So I made a halfway mark on my 4.5, or my 4.25, and that was at 2 1/8. So 2 1/8 was my halfway mark, so I made a mark, and as you can see, this will give us enough to lap this over, and we will, right down the middle of our spine will be where it comes together, and we're going to cover this so that seam will never show. And I love these colors together. Look how well this picks up. Even though they're 2 different papers from 2 different packs. Dots and Stripes Winter Collection and Happiness is Homemade with Love. I'll get it right in a minute. There was another pack that was called Happiness is Homemade or something like that. So I think that's the pack I have in my giveaway if I'm not mistaken. But these are the ones that we want to adhere. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to move these out of my way, move them over here. I'd already cut these at 10 by 12. So here's my 10-inch piece, and this is 10 inches. And I want them, actually want them like this because my front's going to be here, my back's going to be here. And I'm doing them upside down. The side that you do not want to see needs to be what you're seeing. I am so sorry about my interruption, but we are back, and we are back exactly where we need to be. I have not stuck this down yet. As I was telling you, I need to combine these 2 pieces of paper to make a big enough piece to accommodate our recipe book. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to lift up, I ran a piece of sticky tape, and this is like, looks like it might be 3/8 of an inch or 1/4. 3/8. This is 3/8 of an inch. So I ran that sticky tape along there, but I'm also going to put some art glitter glue. And I'm doing this for two reasons. One is I want to make sure this doesn't come apart. And two is the art glitter glue will give me a little bit of wiggle room on top of that tape so that we can have time to adhere that. Now I went over my edge right here, so I'm just going to fold that back in just like that. So if you go off of the edge of your paper when you're putting down your sticky tape, don't worry, you can just fold it back in. So now what I'm going to do, and remember, this is the side I don't want to show. The side that I want to show is face down. So I'm going to lay this down right like that, and I am going to run it all the way down to this side, just like so. And I'm going to give that a good press, and I'm even going to take my bone folder and run up and down it. I just want to make sure that that is stuck really good. Now this is going to be, oops, let me go like this. This is going to be the front and the back of our album. You see, it did ooze out a little bit on that side, but that's okay. This is going to get covered. We are going to put something down the spine that's going to cover it, so that's not an issue. So let's turn it back over, just like this, and you want your front to be to this side and your back to this side. So the first thing I'm going to do is I'm going to lay down that spine. And you remember where I had that little tick mark where it was the middle? I'm going to do my best to lay that down right on that line. Doesn't have to be perfect, but you want it to be pretty close. Now the other thing I'm going to do is I'm going to put this piece right here. And if you notice, I am leaving about the width. Now if you have an extra piece of chipboard, just a little piece like this, whatever you have that you can use as a guideline, just bump it up against it and then push the other piece up to it like that. Just like that. Because we want this to be together, but we also want it to be able to bend, because we're going to need to bend this. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to do it just like that. And now while I have this down, I'm going to turn this over. Now I have a piece of sticky tape on this side, and I'll tell you the reason why I put that sticky tape there. When I was scoring, I scored in the wrong, not scoring, but cutting. I cut one time in the wrong place. So see right there? But it didn't break. So I thought, okay, I'm going to still use this piece, and I put a piece of tape over it. So I'm going to go ahead and put a lot of glue all over this piece. Up the sides, along the corners. Just scrub that glue on this piece of chipboard. You really want to get it on there good, because you know you want this to last a long time. If you're making it for yourself, you want it to last, and if you're making it for a gift, you definitely want it to last. So I'm going to set this right in here, and I'm going to bring that up to it, just like that. Did I move that? I did. Okay, let's just put this one down and we'll just guide everything else to it. That's okay. That's good. Alright, now we're going to do the same thing here. We want to leave about that 1/8 of an inch between there. So I'm going to bring this over, and I am going to saturate it with my art glitter glue. Just like that. And let's put this one right about here, just like that. Press it. You really want to press this down. And now we're going to bring this one to right about there. We're going to do the same thing. We're just going to put our glue all over the back part of this piece of chipboard. And listen folks, if you do not have chipboard, please don't say I can't do this because I don't have chipboard. You can. If you've got cardboard, cut your pieces out of cardboard and cover them. The edges are not going to show. You're not going to have any raw edges that shows, because we're going to cover those with paper. So use yourself some cardboard. If you order stuff from online shopping and you've got the hard packages that comes through the mail to us, you can use those. Cut them up and glue them together. You can make this. You can find stuff around your house. You do not have to have the materials that I have in order to make this. So please don't think that you do. Okay, before I go any further, I'm going to take a scoring tool and I'm going to go, I need a smaller one than that. Let's see, that's the big one. Maybe this one. I'm just going to go down into that groove and I'm going to score. This is going to help your paper when you get ready to fold this. It's just going to really help it. I'm going around the sides, up this side, over here, across this. When you get to where your paper's joined together, be careful because you don't want to break into that paper. This just gives you a nice crease all the way around your project, and you'll be surprised how much easier that makes it. Now I'm going to miter my corners, and all that means is that you're going to cut them off so that you have just about 1/8 of an inch. So just cut them at an angle, leaving about that much. That's all you want right there. So I'm going to do the same thing all the way around. Let me move some of this stuff out of my way because I do need room to work, and I've got stuff falling everywhere. I might want to put my pen back in my glue. I'm not sure, but that might be a good idea. What do you think? I'm always so bad about not putting my pen back in my glue. All right, we're going to do the same thing here. We're just going to miter this corner ever so gently. That one I don't think I got quite enough. So I'm going to come back up and just whack that again. We'll do the same thing up here. And then up here. Just like that. Now I am going to go ahead and bend. And then I'm going to rock my paper or my cardstock or chipboard this way, and then I'm going to rock it this way. And what that's doing is it's kind of working the fibers loose in my paper so that I can get a good fold on this, because you want to make sure you've got a really good fold. You want to crease it, let the warmth in your hand just really press that down. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to lay that one back out, and I have some of this 1-inch sticky tape. I just ordered this past week. So I am going to lay down a piece of sticky tape right about here. Now if you don't have sticky tape, use your glue. You do not have to have sticky tape to make this album. I'm using this because it just makes it easier, and for the sake of the video timing, this video is going to probably be maybe about 3 parts anyway. What I wanted to do today was show you how to make the binding and how to cover the album, and then we're going to stop here and we'll move to something else a little bit later. We'll move into putting our pages, making the pages and binding, but for right now we're just going to get this much done and then we'll move on. I'm going to use another piece of sticky tape, so it is going to overlap. That's the reason I took the backer off of it. And I am going to see if I can tear that off. Okay. I'm making a mess with my sticky tape. Let me see if I can regroup here. Put that little piece right there. And I'm going to come right down here, and I'm going to run another piece, and I'm letting it stick on top of that piece. And I'm just going to get it as close to the edge as I can. And I'm going to cut that off right there. And then I'm going to go ahead and lift up this piece because I want to do, oops, wrong one. I want to do one side of this at a time. Okay, now we had worked this and worked it, but I'm still going to start here at this part, and I'm going to work it, work it, work it, lay it. Now I'm going to come in with my little scoring tool, and I'm going to work this because that's going to have to bend. So getting your bends is so important so you don't tear your cardstock, because it will tear. So you want to ease it, you want to ease it, just like that. So now I'm going to turn it around, and this side is a little bit more narrow than the other side. So I am going to probably be able to get by with one piece on here. Where's my little block? I can tear my tape much easier with my block. There it is. Just like that. And this little piece, we're just going to roll it back on itself. I do need something right here, so I'm thinking what I'm going to do when I pull this up, let's go ahead and rock this piece. I'm going to rock it, rock it, rock it. And rock it down this way. Now I am going to tell you that this, what we're doing right here, is going to be worth its weight in gold, because you might think that that's a waste of time to do all this folding and bending, but it really, really isn't. You're going to need that. So because I didn't have the sticky tape all the way over, I am going to come back with some art glitter glue, but it's not going to take nowhere near as much, because all I need is a little bit right here. I'm going to put a little bit on this, and then a little bit right here on this little edge that didn't get tape. Okay, so now I'm just going to start working this, and I'm working it really hard using my thumbs. Please y'all excuse my nails, they look horrible, but I'm hoping to get them done tomorrow. I am going to sit down tomorrow, and I am going to give myself a really good manicure because they look really, really bad. Okay, so that looks good. Now we're going to come back on this side. I'm going to leave my art glitter glue right there because I got a feeling we're going to be needing it again. In fact, looks like we need a little bit right up under this corner. So like I said, anytime you see any place that's lifting, you know, don't be afraid to just put down some extra glue or whatever you're using for your adhesive. So let's go up here. And I'm getting as close to the edge of that spine as I can. And my block. And I am going to cut a tiny piece of this to go right here. See if I can angle it in there. Just like that. And that's okay, because we're gonna go back. We can pull this off and go back. Bone folder, where are you? Okay, I'm gonna press this down really good, and this little piece too, and then I'm gonna lift this one up first, and then this one. Just like that. And then see this excess tape? I'm just going to use my little pokey tool, and I'm going to roll that back in just into there, just like so. And the same thing over here. I have just a little bit that's showing over there. Let me clean up some of my trash because I've got trash everywhere. Okay, now I'm going to do the same thing. I'm just going to rock this, get it going in that direction, and then I'm going to press it down in the middle and work it out to the edge using the heel of my hand, just like that, just like that. Now, by taking your time and doing this, you are going to have a much neater looking album. I promise you. Looks like we need a little glue up under here. Something didn't quite make it right there. Oh, I know why I was going to put another thing of tape down and I didn't. Evidently, I can't walk and chew gum, and I can't craft and record. That's not a good thing considering I do YouTube, is it? Okay. I am so loving this project. I'm so excited about making this recipe book. Recipe books is something that I want to do for all of my girls, both of my girls and my daughter-in-law. So hopefully I will get one done, and I want to do all of my family recipes, things that my kids grew up on. I gave them a recipe book way back, and it was before I got into paper crafting. And I basically just printed out recipes off of, I typed them up and printed them off. I did some clip art and put it in between each one of the pages to kind of divide off the different categories, and that was it. I made a really pretty front cover and put Mama's homemade recipes. My girls loved it. They still have theirs, but I do want to do them a new one. So that's something that's definitely going to be in the plans. I think they would really enjoy it and appreciate it, and I know I would. Let's see, we got some little bit wider tape right here. I'm going to put a piece down right here, and I'm bringing it closer to the edge, just like so. And let's go ahead and get, let's do this first. Let's press it down really good. Wrong one again. And again, I'm going to roll that tape back onto itself right there. And I'm going to have another tiny little piece on this, right there on that edge. And I'm going to do the same thing, just roll it back onto itself. There we go. And I'm going to rock this one the same way. Just rock it up, and it gives it, see, it starts to bend and curve, and that's what we want. So now I'm pressing it, and pressing it, and pressing it. This is our book. This is going to be our recipe book. I am so happy to have this portion of it done. We do need to put something in here that is going to coordinate with both pieces of paper. And I am thinking we need a piece that is, I want it to come over about about a half an inch over. So it's going to go to 12 there. Now let me show you how I measure this. It's definitely not rocket science. It is, I just make a mark there and I know it's 12, and I want it to come over to about a half an inch over. So it's going to be 4 1/4. So 12 plus 4 1/4 is going to be 16 1/4. So half is 16 1/4, and I want to show you guys what I have. I have, and this might help some of you, I have an app on my phone that is called a fraction calculator. So if I know that I need 16 1/4, and I want to put it together halfway. I'm going to zero that out, and I'm going to put 16 1/4. See, it's a fraction calculator. Isn't that neat? Divided by 2, and your whole numbers are over here, equals. That's going to be 8 1/8. So I need 8 1/8 to get me the piece that I need. So I want this paper to go up and down. So I'm going to need 8 1/8 and 8 1/8, and I need it to be, let's see how long we need it. It's my ruler. There it is. So I want that to go over there about a 1/2 inch and about 1/2 inch. So that's going to be 7 1/4. So we need it to be about 7 1/4 high. So I'm going to cut it at 7 1/4 first, this way. Let's do it this way. 7 1/4. So there's 7 1/4 right there. Let's see how much more we need. So we need another little pill. That's not going to work. We are going to need to find another piece of this, and let's see what I've got. Or, you know what we could do? We could do the front one color and the back another color. I think that would be so cute. Let's see, since we did this like that, why can't we do the front like that? And you know what? I actually think that I want this to be the same as the front, the back. Let's see. We have this muted red that would be gorgeous for the front. I know exactly what I'm going to do. I am going to use this for the front, and we're going to do it over to here. This is going to make it so simple. Okay, ruler. Okay, we're going to go in the 1/2 inch and over to here, which is going to be 8 inches this way. And then we know that if that's 8 inches, then we're going to need 8 inches this way. Exactly. So I am going to do this side with this beautiful stripe, and we're going to do this side with this stripe. How cute is that? I think that's adorable. So let's see if we can get that. Let's see if we can get that cut and get that together. So what did I say? I needed 8. Let me get my measurements together and get these pieces cut, and we'll be right back. Okay, folks, I am back. I am so sorry for that that little misadventure of mine, but nevertheless, I did get this cut. And what we need this to be was 8.5 by 7.5. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to glue down the red stripe on the red side and the turquoise stripe, or the teal, whichever you want to call it, over here on the other side. Now I think I'm going to go ahead and put this together with a strip, and it looks like one piece is just a little bit bigger than the other, but that's not going to matter because this part is going to be covered. So what I'm going to do is turn this over. See what I mean? This looks like it's off just a hair. So I am going to trim this. Yeah, I think that'll be okay, and we can still get that to fit right there. And this right here, or maybe down just a hair, because I got a place right here that did not cover good. I cut that too sharp. And things like this is going to happen in your crafting, and you just have to learn how to camouflage the boo-boos. And remember, we're going to decorate on the inside, so you know what? I am not going to let this deter me. We will cover it up. You know, what we can't do with paper, we can definitely do it with embellishments. So don't worry if you do get off a little bit here or there. Just fix it. We'll cover it. It's paper. So I'm going to just put a strip right there, and I am going to put some art glitter glue over top of this again, just because. You'll see it's off just a hair again. I'm just not exact when it comes to putting that tape down, but that's okay. We are going to put a little art glitter glue right along that tape. And I'm going to set this piece right on top of that, just barely. Just barely, just like that. Now remember, we're going to turn that over because we want this muted side. Hey, what do you know? Only here is the only place it's actually showing, so I think we're good. Let's get this right into the middle if we can. That's pretty good right there. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to turn this over, and I think I'm going to use tape. We will put some glue on it, but I want this tape because I think it's just going to make it so much faster for us to get this together. And I always hate it when these videos go on forever. I know everybody's busy. We all have busy lives. We work. We have families. We have functions and get-togethers and church and all the things that we have to do in our life. So I totally understand. So let's put one more piece right about here. And one more right here. And I'm going to varnish this down with my bone folder, just a little bit, just enough to make sure we have a good stick. Okay, and then we're just going to come in and lift this up. Now the one thing you want to do after you get your tape off of here is I would suggest going back and just running a little bit of art glitter glue over top of your tape. This is going to help give you a little wiggle room, and it's also going to help it to last. I look at it like this, you know, this is a recipe book. It's going to get some wear and tear. I've noticed that I've got a little bit of tape overhang right here. I want to curl that under before I stick it down. If not, I'm going to have everything sticking to it. So kind of be mindful of that as you're putting these together. Now I'm going to come up as high as I can. And I think that looks really good. Now we are going to go back, and don't worry about this looking uneven, because this right here is going to be completely covered. This whole section right here will be covered, so nobody will see that. that will be covered with our binding system. So let me get all my tape in the trash, or my backers to my tape. And we're going to take our bone folder again, because we just did this. So we're going to crease this. And you want to work this. Work it slow. You know, work it slow. The last thing you want to do is tear this paper after you put this much work and this much material into your book. And the same thing right here. Come in with that bone folder, being really careful. Don't go at it hard, just go at it easy. I did tear mine a little bit right there. It's so easy for that to happen. So work it up, work it up. Now when our book is finished, it's going to be a good substantial book. It's going to be really thick. You see how big the back of it is. So there's going to be lots of room in this book for putting in all of your recipes. Now the next thing that we're going to need to do is put this down. And this is going to go down just like that, into that 4-inch space, just like that, just like that. So we want to make sure all of those pieces are nice and flat. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go back and I'm going to put art glitter glue all over the back of this, and then I'm going to stick it down into the book. And you know, I say art glitter glue, but I'm not too sure it's not going to be better with sticky tape. And what I might do is just do the sticky tape right here in the book itself. So let's see. This is going to go right like that. And I did this at the 8.5 for the reason that I knew my book was 9. I wanted a 1/4 inch and a 1/4 inch at the top. So that's the reason why I did that. So I'm going to come over to here. I'm so indecisive. I'm so sorry. I'm going to do it on the back of the book, I mean the binder itself. I am going to put it as close. I'm going to start down here where I can see what I'm doing. I'm not going to be able to flatten that out, so we are going to need some snips. So I'm going to get my little Tim Holtz snips because I like these for cutting sticky tape. And I am going to run this tape all the way down on all of the sides, all the way across. So we're probably going to need, this is 1 inch, you're probably going to need about 5 pieces. This is a little bit over 4 inches, so at least 4. Yeah, we're going to need more than that. You know what we'll do? We'll go, let's put this as close to this edge as we can get it. Just like that. And we'll come back and put another piece up that other side. So we'll use this thinner one that is like 3/8 of an inch, and we'll bring it and put it in right here. There we go. Now I'm just going to use my fingers and work this tape down on here as best I can, because I don't want it to peel up when I pull the backer off of it. I want this to stay on here as best as we can get it. So let's go ahead and lift this up and lift this one up. And we're going to lift this one up. I said I was going to use a different cardstock, but you know what? After all the work we put into this binding system, I decided we're going to go with the white because it's going to be covered. It is definitely going to be covered because we're going to make our pages, and we're going to have lots of room inside this recipe book with all the pages that we can put in here from the size that we've made this. It is going to be gorgeous. Oh, that's not adhered. So if you try to pull it up and it doesn't want to come, and wants to bring the tape with it, just push it back down and give it a little rub, and it will eventually cooperate. Now I'm going to hold that just like this, and I am going to sit it, making sure your front is to the front. So I'm going to sit this in as best I can. Let's see. I'm going to kind of double it so I can get the pieces in right where I want them. Let's put the art glitter glue on here. I need a little wiggle room with this. And the reason I like some wiggle room is because this is very important that this is in there nice and straight, because everything hinges onto this little binder. This is like your this is where all your pages are going to live, all of your inserts, everything will live on this little edge. So, okay, that looks really good. That's loaded up with glue just like I wanted it. So now I am going to set this down just like this. Up. That looks good. Now I'm just going to use my finger and I'm going to press down on each one of these in between half-inch pieces that we scored. Just like so. And there's our binders. Wow. I feel really good at what we have gotten accomplished so far. Uh-oh, this one is up too far onto this. Oh no. This one is good. This one's over too far. Let's see if we can pull it up without tearing. Yeah, we got that one. Let's see if we can get the rest of them up. I didn't see that, and this is what you really got to be careful. You got to make sure it's not too far over. Let's see if we can crease this to make it work. Ah, we did it. I didn't have to stick it up. I just made another crease line right there in that crease of the actual binding, and that made it work. So I'm going to bend it over nice and tight, bend it over, and there is our book. Oh yes, that is looking so good. I know right now you're thinking, that didn't look like much, but I promise you, once we get everything in here, now my paper ripped right there, just a little bit, but that's okay. We are going to put some glue over it. This happens when you're making albums. They split, sometimes your paper, and especially if it's thick paper, and this is the Cartabella, it's very thick. So I'm just going to run a bead of glue. Now remember, this is going to dry clear, so don't fret over that. And we're going to have so many embellishments and things on this book, that is not going to be noticeable. Now I am going to bend it because I want that to glue just like that. Okay, I am going to let this book sit and dry, and I'm going to leave it like that for a little bit. And when we come back in our next video, I'll show you how to make the pages, and I'll show you how to put them in, and then we will have the fun part of decorating and making our book for our recipes. Now, if you want to follow along with me, please do so, but please watch this first video first and learn the system on getting this piece right here done. Once you get this piece down and you can bind your piece, then you will not have any problems with the rest of this, I promise. So we're going to have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9 pages in this book. And each one of these pages will have fold outs and waterfalls and all kinds of things in it that will give you plenty of room for all your recipes. So join me back when we complete this beautiful little recipe book. I am having so much fun making this, even with my little mistakes here and there. It's been a long time since I did a binding, so just bear with me. And I want to let you know, and I could cut my mistakes out in my editing, but I decided that I don't want to, because I want you to know that you make mistakes, they can be fixed. So, sorry, I had a text message and I needed to check and see. My husband's out doing some shopping, so I had to check and make sure that everything was good, and it is. So, but anyway, like I said, if you run into any issues in making this book, just give me a call, not a call, but an email, and I will get back with you and help you in any way I can. But do give it a try. I think you'll be pleasantly surprised once you get this book done. And if y'all remember me showing you my my album that I did, and I don't know what I did with it, Neil. Oh, it was my autumn album. My fall album was bound and done very much like that, and it was this one, and it has that same binding system in it. You can see right there the pages. You can see the binding strip down in there. This is the very same situation. So this book is going to be just about the size of that one, and it's a nice size book, and I think you're going to enjoy it. We're going to do a lot different than I did on this one on the inside, but I think it's going to be gorgeous. I think you're going to really enjoy it. I know we're going to do a lot of different things, and it's going to have some larger pages in it than this one, because I want to build it so that we can get recipes in it. So anyway, I just want to say thank you so much for tuning in. If you are watching this video and you have not subscribed to my channel, please do so. I am working really hard to get my channel up to 500 subscribers. I have a wonderful giveaway. There is a video that's called Let's Talk, and if you'll go over and watch that video, you will see there how to enter the giveaway, and the giveaway will be given out from the comments and the subscriptions. You have to be a subscriber, you have to like that video, and you have to leave a positive comment. So those are the requirements to be in for the giveaway, but we are at 412, I believe, as of today, so we're not too far away, and I'm hoping that by Christmas I can give this away to one lucky winner. It is a gift package that includes a 1-2-3 punch board, some paper packs, some embellishments, some little pop dots. There are several different things in that package, and I can't wait to send that to a very lucky winner. Like I said, it retails for $75 worth of product, and I think you're going to love it. So anyway, go over and check out that video and subscribe to my channel. Please like and comment on all my videos. One of the people that I follow, which is May Made It, she was telling yesterday that there are some changes coming to YouTube. So in order to keep a live status on Facebook, I mean not Facebook, I am so sorry, YouTube, I do this all the time. To keep your status on YouTube, you have to have followers, you have to have content, and you have to have likes and comments. So all of that is so very important to me. So if you would please head over, check out that video, subscribe, and just be a part of my crafty family. I welcome you in. So until we craft again, may God bless you, and may everything you do and say bring glory to Him. He is so worthy. Be kind to someone and show love. Until we meet again, bye-bye.